Hello everyone, today we'll be sleeving some K-pop photo cards. I'll be using some Dragon Shield as well as some Mandu Deco. And then for the inner sleeves, I have these Baz Kiss sleeves. And as you can see here, we have twice Aespa, TXT, some Red Velvet, Stray Kids, P1 Harmony, and a bunch of 17. Praying my press-on nails do not pop off while I'm sleeving, but anyway, let's get into it. Okay, we're going to start off with the girl groups. We've got some Itzy, some Red Velvet. Well, actually, Red Velvet and also like Irene&Suelgi from their Tilt album. We also have some Aespa and we got a bunch of Twice. So what should we, I think I'll just start with Itzy. Also, if you hear a motorcycle like engine in the background, I apologize. I'm not quite sure, but they've been kind of at it for the last like 15 minutes. So I'm hoping like whatever they're doing, it'll be over soon. But yeah, apologies for the noise if you hear that in the background. But I was going to suggest that why not like keep me on while you're doing like your Sunday cleaning or you're studying or you're cooking or whatever like you need like to put me on in the background, and you don't have to pay attention to me. That's what I was doing actually this morning. I put a bunch of YouTube videos on in the background while I was doing some deep cleaning. And yeah, it felt really good. I did a deep cleaning of the house, of our bedroom, and like the kitchen and the family room. I even went into my closet and just did like a purge of these clothes that I didn't need, like clothes and bags and shoes that I didn't really need anymore. And it felt really good afterwards. I still actually have some cleaning that I want to do after this. I actually want to clean out my car after, and think also just like do some more vacuuming. Like there's stuff like vacuuming in between my couch cushions, and also I need to vacuum in the basement as well. Like the stairs, it's pretty bad. Like there's a bunch of built up dirt on the basement stairs that I really need to get to. So probably will be doing this after I sleeve, but I wanted to take a little bit of a break and sleeve some photo cards because the pile was getting a little bit too big for my liking. And I still am going to be doing like a separate sleeving video for just my 80s photo cards that unsurprisingly has also amassed a huge amount of photo cards in like a short period of time, short-ish period of time. I've been getting a lot of mail hauls lately, and I just ordered from Pokemart for the first time, so I will, once I get that package, we'll be doing a video on that, so I'm super excited. Oops, I always forget to, this is how I want to sleeve it. So I sleeve it right side up, and then I do this way, so then it's double sleeved. Protects from any water damage just in case. But yeah, the cleaning today felt really good. I started actually a bit yesterday just because it's been, I don't know about you guys, but it's been really busy. It's been a busy fall so far. And so I've been feeling really anxious and overwhelmed with work, and I was neglecting other things. Like I was neglecting upkeep with cleaning the house. I was neglecting like myself. Like I was not working out. I was just like eating a lot of like takeout and things like that, which like I don't know, like every so often you need like a good takeout meal. There's nothing wrong with that. But it was more so I was kind of constantly doing it. And so I was not eating the greatest. Like I would feel like not so, like I would just feel like kind of a bit bloated after like a takeout meal, depending on what I ordered. And so that combined with just like spending money on takeout, it wasn't working. And so I was like, I need to like switch it up. I need to actually get it together, get my life together. I was kind of falling into one of those like, I guess, situations or what's the word that I'm looking for? I was falling into like a pattern of like not working out and not eating too great, and also just like getting like super stressed and anxious with work. So that all kind of culminated with just me like just me feeling really stressed out, and I needed like a moment to myself because like I think I just wasn't realizing how much stuff was piling up in different parts of my life. So I was like, okay, I need to actually like get a plan and get things together. And so usually when things like that happen, one of the first things that I like to do is like give my house a thorough clean, because I don't know about you, but it genuinely feels like a weight has like been physically lifted off your shoulders after you give your like place a really good clean, and it's just nice, and your living space is like nice and clean and shiny again. It really just is a huge stress reliever for me, because when I see things pile up like my laundry or like the dishes or things like that, it also just like physically stresses me out. It physically feels like there's a weight on me when like all of this stuff starts to pile around my house. So one of the first things that I like to do is just give like a really good clean of the house. And yeah, I already feel so much better, even though that there are still some things that I want to get done around the house after this. I already just feel a lot better and a lot less stressed. So I also started like putting out my workout clothes for the next day, and like I made like a little workout plan for the week. Even though it's like the weekend, I like made kind of like a full like to-do list for work and what needs to get done and what I need to get done for the week versus the month. And that already has just made me feel a lot better. I think just all of the stuff floating around in my head, just getting it down on paper and getting like a plan for myself, that just like relieves me. So yeah, that's how I spent kind of my morning or like the most of the weekend getting my life together. So hopefully all of my pre-planning means that I'll have like a good productive week as well. But I don't know if anyone, I think like it's already like October. Well, I guess like I'm filming this in September, but by the time I get this out, it'll be October. So I'll like, yeah, it's already September, but I think with the summer, I don't know about anyone else, but I just really let myself like fall out of a routine during the summertime. So I've just kind of been spending, I guess I've just been spending most of September stressing myself out over falling out of the routine and kind of letting stuff pile up, and then just spending the last bit of the month just trying to get it together, I think. Okay, so these ones are a bit bigger. I think what I'll do with this Jihu is just put her in a not double sleeve. Oh, she looks so great though. I love the bob on her. And these ones, I think I can double sleeves. These from the Strategy album. I think I can double sleeve these, but yeah, they're just gonna barely fit. So I'm just going to, and of course I put it on, well, I mean, for this one I don't, there we go. I think these ones clash a little bit for the pink and the red. I don't know, do I want to put it? I can always just change it later. These frame sleeves, I don't know. I think that it's fine for now. I'll just change it later. But I think I need to kind of concentrate on putting these particular cards in the sleeves just because they're so tight fitting. So I'm afraid of, oh gosh, I'm afraid of accidentally bending them. So just give me a moment. I'm just gonna stop talking and then I'm just gonna concentrate on sleeving these. Okay, there we go. I feel like I manhandled those photo cards a little bit. I was trying to be as gentle as possible. Also, there was a fruit fly flying around here. I don't know if you noticed, but it was kind of annoying. But I think I shooed it out of the room for now. Okay, so I think we will move on to, who should we move on to next? Let's do, I think I have a couple of cards from other boy bands, just a few. So let's do those. Okay, so I got some Enhypen, some BTS, some P1 Harmony, and these two random Mark Lee photo cards. I think one of them is an NCT photo card, and the other one is, yeah, is from The First Fruit. I don't know if I probably have talked about this before, but I do try to put in a general rule of thumb for who I collect or like the photo cards and albums that I collect. And my general rule is that I don't collect photo cards or albums of any bands unless I can start to easily identify their, like, every member of the group. So unless I can identify every member of the group fairly easily, I'm not going to collect any photo cards or albums until I get to that point. And really it's mostly because I will spend money I will give me a chance and I will spend money on photo cards, even if I only know a couple, like one or two of the members of the group. And it's not to say that I don't like that group. I do very likely listen to their music, know of like their very popular songs, seen their music videos, but I just haven't reached the point where I can just like easily identify every member of the group. So, but I keep making exceptions for Mark Lee, for Mr. Mark Lee. I don't know what it is about a Mark Lee photo card, but like we have two here. I think there's another couple of Mark Lee photo cards, I think, in my Polka order album, or like someplace I might have even just like traded for a Mark Lee photo card, which I guess doesn't count because I was trading and not spending money, so I guess that didn't count. But yeah, I don't know, Mark Lee, I maybe it is a sign to get into NCT 127 or just like NCT in general. I mainly listen to NCT 127, and I have listened, and I do quite like Mark's solo album, The First Fruit. So I think I'm maybe just trying to justify it by going like, well, you know, he's also like a soloist. Not that he's like in a million other groups as well, but I think that's maybe my justification for getting his photo cards. But I don't know, Mark Lee collectors, I think you understand what it is, like, you know, something about a Mark Lee photo card. But yes, I've broken my rule a few times because of him. But yeah, maybe it is my sign to get into NCT. I have been thinking in general that I should just like start like revisiting or not even exactly revisiting but just like looking into third gen groups more. I mean, obviously, like I have, you know, like I do collect Twice and 17 and a little bit of Red Velvet. And so obviously I do quite like those groups. And I do listen to those three third gen groups on a pretty consistent basis. And of course BTS. I think with BTS though, it's just now that they're back from the military, like I think we're all just kind of anticipating some new music. But the last couple of years, especially since they've been in the military and since I've gotten way more into the K-pop like fandom spaces, you know, like I will still listen to BTS, but there just hasn't really been any new music out. But all that to say, I was thinking the other day about getting more into or like learning more about the third gen groups. And these could even be like third gen groups that aren't even really active anymore. Like I know them. I know of a lot of the popular third gen groups, obviously, like there's BTS, there's 17, there's Red Velvet, Twice. But you know, I really like GOT7's music. Obviously NCT, 127 in particular, Monsta X, you know, since they made their comeback earlier, I've been kind of like looking into them more. Like my, you know, knowledge of Monsta X in particular doesn't extend too far beyond like, again, their more popular releases. And I also like watched that We Bare Bears episode with them in it, which was a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, like I really enjoy and like what I've heard so far from a lot of the third gen groups, but it has only really been their more popular releases. So I don't know if there's any third gen stands out there, any like third gen aficionados who want to help someone out on learning about third gen. Oh, of course, and also EXO, duh. I can't remember, like, I can't believe I didn't mention them when talking about third gen, because I do also really like a lot of the EXO songs that I've heard so far. I don't really, aside from Kai and Baekhyun, though, I don't, again, I'm still learning the members. And even the members, like even the groups that I do listen to on a more consistent basis. So, you know, the groups that I mentioned, the groups that I do collect here from third gen, I'm sure there are just a ton of things that I've missed out, like especially from their early years. So a lot of their kind of earlier things, like their performance stages or even earlier music videos I'm still trying to make my way through, or even just like lore type things in like their fandom. I'm sure there are some things that I have not even heard of because I'm still just trying to get through their more recent stuff. Like with 17, like I've gone through 17's discography, for example, but in terms of like their earlier stuff, like their like earlier music videos or their interviews, even their concerts from like when around the time that they were still in their earlier years, I haven't seen, and I should get around to that. There's just so much content, like in general, there's always just so much content when it comes to K-pop groups. So I really just have to pick and choose. I think I should just spend a couple of weeks like on one group and really focusing on one group at a time and just really doing a deep dive into all of their things, like all of the B-sides, all of their music videos, their interviews, their performance stages, like their relay dances, all of that. And just like spend my time doing that per group. I do that with, let me see here. Just want to make sure I put it in the right order with Mingyu, which I did. Okay. I'm sure I missed a card where I put it in the wrong order, but I'll just check on that later. But yes, if anyone has, if anyone who like really stands third gen groups, they want to like leave a comment with some suggestions of videos, you know, videos, interviews, like music videos, B-sides, things like that, or like even anything like related to that that I could look into for any third gen group, please let me know, because I would really love that and I will definitely check that out. I'm curious about the groups that I guess are maybe not as active anymore, whether like they're in the military at the moment, or whether they've disbanded. I'm curious about those groups as well. Even if there isn't any new content coming from that will be coming from them, I'd still also like to learn more about those inactive groups as well. But a part of me is like, well, if I get into them, I'm just gonna be sad that there's no new music coming out. So there's also that to consider as well. I think in terms of like new groups, well, at least new to me, groups that I've been listening to lately, I have been like listening to some fifth gen groups as well. Like I've been really liking Meow. I should really look that up. My friend saw them at KCON LA in the summertime, and she said that they were really great. And I've been enjoying the songs that I've heard so far. Also, Hearts to Hearts. I just played Style on repeat for months. So, and I think they're like really, like they're really cute, and like they do actually remind me of kind of the earlier gen girl groups. In second gen, I used to listen to a lot of pretty much only girl groups. Like it was the main one, and and I think like a little bit of Shiny, but it was mainly girl groups, like the main ones like Girls' Generation, 21, Cabas, Sister. So, so it kind of just like, I don't know, it kind of has that like maybe like second, maybe third gen feel to it, I feel. And then in terms of boy groups, been listening to a lot of like X Love. Oh my god, I love them so much. Again, like they're another group where I'm like, should I learn their names so I can get their photo cards, because like I haven't looked at their photo cards. I've like seen some unboxings and things like that, but I haven't looked too into their photo cards. But just their entire concept alone, I know their photo cards would be peak, and so a part of me is just like tempted. So I mean, why not? Because I already really enjoy their music. Their music videos are so good. Maybe I should just like get into learning their names so I can start buying their albums and their photo cards. And then who else am I listening to in terms of like newer groups for fifth gen? Obviously Cat's Eye. I tried to get tickets to their Toronto show. Like not a chance. There was no way I was going to get tickets to their Toronto show. I don't know what they were thinking in choosing that venue. I mean, I think it is a strategy. I mean, it is better than like I think what a lot of groups were doing this past summer with like overshooting on like the venue, especially when so many different K-pop groups were touring all at the same time. And there were so many groups that were coming around, like at least to the US, I will say, because maybe not so much in Toronto, but at least in the US, there were so many groups touring, and they were, I guess, like choosing venues that were like maybe a bit too big for them, and that maybe wouldn't have been such an issue. Like maybe it would have been fine if the tickets weren't so expensive. But but I think Cat's Eye, for how big they are, definitely could have been fine with a larger venue. But yeah, there was no way. Like the venue that they picked, like it sold out immediately, and the like resale value was insane. I just kind of looked a couple of times for resale, and no, I can't. Fortunately, I cannot. So hopefully they, hold on, I'm just gonna get another pack of cards here. Hopefully they will come back to Canada. Hopefully they will not just visit Toronto, and maybe, who knows, they might visit like a couple of other cities. Whoops, sorry. And then hopefully they will go to a bigger venue, and I'll have a chance at tickets, you know, because that would be great if I could see them in concert. But in terms of collecting Cat's Eye, I've been also considering that as well, but I really should, even though we still have a few months left in the year. I have been starting to think about my collecting goals. So, and then Cat's Eye might be in there. I keep going back and forth because there's still some other collections and groups and people that I think I'd want to prioritize, but it's tempting. It's tempting to want to collect Cat's Eye. Another group that I also was thinking about is Universe, because I was one of the many that started getting into them before they even debuted, and they had a super hilarious TikTok that caught a lot of people's attention before they even debuted. So now that they have an albums out, then I am also considering maybe collecting them as well. And but I don't know who I would collect. Maybe I would just start off by collecting all of them. The same with X-Love. I don't know who, if I did start to collect X-Love, I don't know who I would collect. Cat's Eye, I think it would probably be Sophia and Lara. Maybe. Yeah, for Universe, I don't know. And I keep trying, I keep correcting myself. I keep stopping myself from saying one verse. But I think other than that, other than that, I've just been listening to some new music. Well, again, new to me. My friend Jamie, when I met up with her in Chicago for Stray Kids earlier in the summer, out of the many things that she gave me were these Dino photo cards. I don't know what they knew what they were doing when they had this friggin' groom concept. But Dino, he looks so handsome here. So thank you, Jamie, for giving me these photo cards. Oh gosh, hopefully I have enough sleeves. Don't think I have no, I don't think I have enough sleeves, so gonna have to get some more later. I think I'll have to just single sleeve these for the time being. Okay, I did double check, and for a second I thought I had some more Mandu Deco, but unfortunately not. So we'll just sleeve these as a single sleeve, and then I'll just go get some more later once I run out. Is there another Might be. I don't know. No, there's not. Definitely not going to be enough for the rest of these, because I was like, oh, maybe there's enough for the rest of these dinos, but I don't think so. Oops. Okay, so that's this all done, and then I think what I have left is TXT and Stray Kids. Okay, so we are in the home stretch, so we just have some TXT and some Stray Kids to finish up. I did get some green dragon shield sleeves for Yeonjun, and then these kind of like navy cobalt blue I was going for, these types of sleeves for Bangchan, and I will then have to find some more Mandu Deco sleeves for the rest of the members. Again, for now, I think I will start with, got Terry here, just gonna sleeve them just with the single sleeve. Here, it's done. And same with Stray Kids, we got some Sungmin, Ian, and a Changbin photo card. There we go. Looks good. I'm just looking at my phone to see if it looks okay on my phone screen. Okay, so here, got a bunch of Yeonjun, so I'm making a pretty good dent in my Yeonjun collection, and I have some more on the way as well. So aside from like his like very earlier stuff, like the first few releases, and then the latest release that they have, I have a lot of the cards in between, so that there was a couple of sellers that were I don't know if they were dropping, like they didn't say that they were dropping their Yeonjun collection, but they were selling a lot of his Korean album photo cards, like a couple of these sellers. So I kind of just like took advantage of that pretty, I did spend a pretty penny on that because I was ordering so many photo cards at once, but I figured I need to take advantage and just try to get as much as possible, so then I can worry about the other cards that I don't have later. Although I did see my local K-pop store, they had a couple of photo cards up for trade from Love Language, which like on Pokemarket it seemed like pretty expensive, and I haven't seen other like TXT sellers, at least not yet, like selling the Yeonjun Love Language photo cards, but they had 2 of the photo cards up for trade. But then by the time I realized it, like I saw it on their Instagram stories, and by the time I realized that they had those up for trade and stopped by the store, unfortunately I was too late, and some other lucky person already got those Yeonjun photo cards. But it's just disappointing because I was like, ooh, it was a trade, because when I do see it up for sale, it's kind of a bit expensive. So I'm just gonna maybe wait on some of their newer released album photo cards and see if like the price goes down at some point. But yeah, I'm making a pretty good dent on my Yeonjun collection. Not so much on my Chan. I should get on him, but that is definitely going to be a goal for the rest of this year and into 2026, to just get more of his Korean album photo cards. I'm trying not to, in my goals list for the new year, I'm trying not to have too many goals. Even with ATs, I'm trying not to, like, I'm just so tempted to also start collecting Hongjun. I collect just like, I've tried to fully collect Mingi and Yuno for their Korean album releases, and I'm like, I've just been thinking lately about like collecting Hongjun as well, but I'm like, no, I can't. I can't collect him as well. It's already like so much with Mingi and Yuno, I have been making good progress with both of their photo card collections. I have quite a bit, and I'm really at this point only missing, what I'm missing a lot of is really their earlier Treasure album stuff. Obviously, like that's their earlier photo cards from the Treasure era are pretty difficult to find for both of them, for the whole group too, right? Which is another thing too, like I would have to kind of go through trying to find Treasure album photo cards for a third member, which would be just a lot, which would just be a lot to take on at the moment, considering that I haven't even fully finished both Mingi and Yuno for like their Treasure and like some of their earlier Fever era stuff. So I don't know, but I'm so tempted for Hongjun. I'm in a potential group order right now. Like the set's not secured yet, but I'm in a I've made a claim for a couple of like Hongjun cards, and they're all like the Beat Road, like, was it the Beat Road, the Wonderwall card? Sorry, it's the Wonderwall cards, where he has like kind of that blushy pink hair, and those cards are so expensive. I was actually trying to also go for the one, the one where he has like the lollipop in his mouth and like the blushy cheeks and stuff. Like that's a non like Korean album, like, or a pop prio for me. I don't have too many like priority cards that are outside of the album photo cards that I'm just trying to get right now. Maybe once I collect all of the album photo cards that I want to collect for both Yuno and Mingi, I will then have some more prio cards. But that Yuno one has been a prio. Someone already did claim it. If the set is secured, it wouldn't go to me, it would go to someone else. But I also just really wanted that Hongjun one. And so I ended up getting, or like claiming, not getting, it's not for sure yet if the set's secured from that group order manager, but I ended up like claiming a few of his Wonderwall cards from that time, and like, ooh, like a part of me is like, maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing if that set doesn't go through for this group order manager, because it's a lot of money, and I'm trying not to, like, I'm trying to be a bit more careful with the cards that I do purchase. But man, I couldn't resist, and like I was already in like thinking like, oh, like do I want to collect Hongjun eventually at some point? And so I was in that mindset when I was like claiming him, because I don't actively claim him yet, but man, did I want those cards. Also, if I do start collecting Hongjun, I feel like it's gonna mess up how I have my photo like cards, like my AT's binders organized right now, because right now I have separate binders for Mingi. I have a separate binder for Mingi, I have a separate binder for Yuno, and then I have the other 6 members in like an OT6 binder set where there's like exactly 6 pocket sleeves for each of the other members. And that's just gonna mess it up if I start to collect Hongjun and like want to move him into like his own binder. But we're just gonna put that thought away. We're gonna put that thought away right now and not and just keep it to ourselves for now. I don't think for my own sake and for my own wallet, I'm not gonna have like that as a goal for 2026. But what will be is collecting more Bangchan and collecting more Yeonjun in 2026. Okay. Here we go. So I think that's everything. Let me just grab the rest of the cards and then we'll wrap up. Okay, here are all of the photo cards nicely sleeved and organized. I will be doing another video where I store all of these in my different binders. But for now, I hope you enjoyed watching this video and I will see you in the next one. Bye!